Once you find yourself in conflict with a narcissist, it's a virtual guarantee they're going to start playing head games with you. That's why I put together a new course. It's very extensive called Anger Games. I'm going to teach you how to manage anger and conflict with a narcissist. There's a link below that's going to show you how to register, and I hope that you find it to be very insightful. Does the narcissist in your life care about you? Well, it really all depends on how we examine that word care. Let's keep in mind that narcissists are highly image conscious, and they want to make themselves look good, and they want people to admire them and think of themselves as being the ultimate. And as a result, they look for people who are going to prop them up in that endeavor. And so as narcissists engage with other individuals, and whether this is their own children or who they live with or who they work with or their social life, etc., they're looking for people who are going to enable them, and they basically assign roles to individuals to help their cause. In other words, rather than investing in people, narcissists manage people. I hope you hear that. They look to you to determine what your usefulness is going to be toward them. And that's not the same thing as caring. They're constantly measuring you up and sizing you up, and they're trying to figure out if you're willing to fit into their social structure in such a way that suits them and makes them look good and feel good. Unfortunately, with strongly narcissistic individuals, those who are on their inner circles become little more than a prop. That person in their inner circle is more of an actor who's been ascribed a role in their script. That person is a potential cheerleader, and they want them to regale them. That person in their inner circle is a means to an end, and could even be described as a useful idiot. Let's understand that narcissists, when they imply that they care about you, will offer goodness and friendliness and helpfulness and encouragement only as long as you do what they want them to do, they want you to do, and that's going to be pretty much it. Let's take a look at certain key ingredients that show that narcissists really don't have a caring sense, in the sense that they want to know you from through and through from the heart level, but that they are looking at you as someone to be managed. Now, first, let's remind ourselves. Narcissists are deeply trained towards judgmental thinking. Now, we all have been exposed to judgments, but narcissists in their early and developmental years realized, okay, if I show myself to be frail, if I show myself to be mistaken, or if there's going to be something that I might think, say, or do that's going to bring poor judgment upon me, that's not going to work out too well. And as a result, they work real hard to perpetuate what we refer to as the false self. And as a result, when they connect with people, they want people who are going to buy into that false self and play along with whatever requirements that is. That's a starting point for these people. Now, beyond that, you can see that in their paranoia, narcissists have lost faith in others' willingness to accept them for what they are or for who they are, and as a result, they do the same in reverse. In their lack of trust or their lack of connection with people, it's like, you can't really trust people to know you, and they don't really care about who I am. And then the reverse is, so why should I care about them? And as a result, that tender, that empathetic side of life is not built very on any kind of very strong foundation. And empathy is something that's lost, and it's overridden by distrust in other individuals. Beyond that, narcissists have figured out, as the years have gone by, power is where it's at. It's the power people who become the influencers. And so if you go too deep into the caring and the tender side of life, then it's like, you're going to lose your power, because you wind up having to slow down and tend to another individual's feelings and needs. It's like, no, that doesn't really suit my narrative very well. They're going to be tender and friendly and pleasant as long as they feel like you're buying into their program. But as soon as you show that you're not on the same page as them, there goes that caring mentality, and they go back into management mode. Now, all of this also says, as part of us understanding them, narcissists have a very poor conception of our interconnection. One of the things that I believe is that my life goes better when your life goes better. Your life goes better when mine does, and it's not a performance exchange. It's just a realization. We all need each other. I know you're going to be effective when you feel understood and when you feel encouraged and when you are allowed the freedom to be what you are. And I hope that you can do the same in reverse toward me, and we all benefit because of that. Narcissists don't think that way at all. Image, position overrides their understanding of relationship development. Let me give you a real simple illustration. For quite a number of years, I was involved in a small team that would take meals, breakfast to ladies and children at a women's shelter. And this is every once a month on Saturday morning, we'd go down there and do that. And there was this one lady that would often join us, and she would bring her teenage daughter. And I loved it when she would bring the teenage daughter, because that daughter would go into the lunchroom or to the eating room and would just get out on the floor and play with little children. And she was tender and she was kind. Here she was, about 16 years old. And to her, there was a caring spirit because she wasn't worried about her image. It's like, you have a need. I can provide goodness. I can provide kindness. I love it when young people like that pick up on that kind of thinking. It's not about image. It's about tuning into the person in front of you. Narcissists don't have that experience when they're in their developmental stages. Pensive thinking is lost on them. And by that, I mean they don't have an introspective nature. They tend to be more functional in the way that they think. They don't conceive of things like purpose and meaning. They're constantly into posturing and positioning thinking. Narcissists are driven by hidden fear. And they're driven by a sense of loneliness. I don't know if people really understand and know me very well anyway, or shame or anger. And they can't comprehend what it's like to manage those emotions within themselves. Therefore, they don't know how to manage those emotions within other individuals. And so that caring disposition is not fully developed because they don't know how to care for their own selves. In addition, they are truly perplexed when other people share their thoughts and feelings. If someone comes along and says, I'm so disappointed, or I feel this, or this was confusing, or I feel happy, rather than saying, well, I'm so glad to hear that because, I've had those experiences too. Let's talk about that. Fill me in. It's like they just go into problem solving mode. Well, you need to do this. You need to quit doing that. That's the managing. That's the functional side of the narcissist. Answers, solutions are inevitably prioritized when you're talking with the narcissist, as opposed to prioritizing the process of engaging with life. Process requires patience, and we realize that when we allow people to just process who they are, and we're there in a caring and loving kind of way, it's like, that takes too much humility. It takes too much self-restraint. Narcissists are thinking, I can't go into that space. Differentness, emotional dysregulation immediately is interpreted by the narcissist as being some sort of divisive thing that needs to be taken care of, and taken care of quickly. So when narcissists show that they manage relationships, but they don't really care about the interior of the individual, they reveal certain things that are on their own interior. First and foremost, they're revealing, I don't know how to love. To them, love is a little more than an idealistic fantasy where somehow you just show up and you just are enamored with one another. And they don't have an appreciation for the fact that love is something that builds and it requires a lot of work. To them, if they say, I love you, what it means is you've now met my conditions. And that's about it. They don't know how to go into that space of kindness and tenderness and patience on an ongoing basis. Short term, maybe as part of their management, but long term, it's a concept that's foreign to them. Also, when we see that narcissists don't have that strong caring mindset, it reveals that their false self is fully in charge. They don't want to wade into any kind of complexities that's going to get them away from their mask that they're wearing. They certainly don't want to be emotionally vulnerable, and that's an enormous part of having a caring spirit. They don't know how to manage their own pain. They don't know how to manage your pain. Complexity and distinction is just simply off limits as far as they're concerned. So when we ask that question, well, does the narcissist care about you? The answer is that they don't really understand the nature of what it means. The question then could be posed to you. Well, do you care about other individuals? And I'm hoping that as you see what's going on inside the narcissist who's very confused about that topic, then you can ask, well, how might I be different than that narcissistic person? And it's going to mean you lay down your expectations of a severe nature. Obviously, we have a certain amount of expectation. You lay down the need to control other people and to manage other individuals. And you just simply ask, how can I invest in a person where they are? And how can I just say, tell me who you are? I'd like to know so that I can know better how to make your life a little bit better. And perhaps we can turn this into a reciprocal kind of effort. And it's the beginning point of course, of empathy. Now, obviously, when you show care, you can still have boundaries, and that's something we can maintain. But I'm hoping it can remind you a caring spirit is at the heart and soul of relationship development. Narcissists, they're into relationship management, and that's pretty much it. I'm hoping you can think, well, I know it's rewarding when people love me just for who I am. I'd like to return that to other individuals. The narcissist, their thinking is, no, it doesn't work for me because I don't know if I do that, if I can control then how you're going to feel towards me, and it's all about them being in control. Now, I hope the videos such as this can give you a good awareness of what you might be up against. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so, and we're going to keep more videos coming your direction. I consider it to be an honor to be on your growth journey with you. Sometimes when you're dealing with individuals who are this way that I've described, it can prompt the thought that says, I could use some help. I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. It's an online therapy resource, and we found out during the pandemic that the online method can be just as effective as in person. So that would be something I would hope you would avail yourself to. We have a link below that will take you to the BetterHelp link. And so if the need is there, it can be so helpful to have a therapist sit down and say, let's talk and let's figure out who you are and how you can develop yourself in the strongest way despite the influences that you've had to the contrary. Now, also, as part of my retirement, I put together some classes, some online classes, and these are very extensive. Each class has at least 25 teaching videos with handouts and guided questions. We have anger games. That's my biggest one right now, where it talks about how to stay out of the anger traps that narcissists put in front of you, along with one of my other major ones. It's called This Is Me, about establishing boundaries. We also have Free to Be, Ready, Set, Connect. There are links below that will take you to those courses. Avail yourself to that. It can be highly therapeutic. On my website, we also have access to my webinars, which are different. They're 90-minute presentations on various topics, and we're building a nice little library for that. And so you can avail yourself to that, along with access to my podcast, many articles, my books, etc. Wouldn't it be nice if you knew that narcissistic person truly cared about you on a heart level? But then if that was the case, they wouldn't be very narcissistic now, would they? I'm hoping that as you examine where they are, it really can prompt you to say, I want to be the better alternative. And in doing so, it can prompt you to be someone that says, I want to know people down at the heart level. I want to be someone who offers steadiness and decency. And in doing so, I'm hoping you can be a creator of peace, and certainly you can live inside your own sense of peace.